Hello, hello. Okay, I'm going to just look at the settings real quickly. Okay, perfect. Okay, it's not allowing you. I got your
I can now.
message. Okay, perfect. All right, I know that a lot of people don't have electricity still. So
I
I know it's like I'm at my in-laws' house right now, and so I'm like, okay, we'll just make do with what we got, right? Um, but I will be recording this for everyone. So if they're not able to hop on, or if you're not able to stay through the whole presentation, then you will get the recording afterwards.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's get started because it's a little past 11:30. Okay. Can you see the screen okay?
Yep, I can.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is Engage and Grow Social Media Strategies for Realtors. I'm so excited to be teaching this class because for the last year, I have been really growing my social media presence on Facebook, Instagram. I've dabbled in TikTok, YouTube. And so this is a really big, passionate training that I have for you guys today. Oh, there's more people coming on. Okay, so bear with me. I'm going to omit some people. Okay, so a little bit about me is that I'm Becky Ray. I'm a wife, a mom of two, and I dedicated real estate agent. So I have 14 years of management experience, and I'm also a team leader for Enlightened Realty Group. I have numerous agents that I've taught and teached, and have really mentored, coached, and I started a coaching program last year. It's been about a year now called Coaching with Becky Ray. And that's something that I've been passionate with, as well as teaching others how to grow their social media presence, how to grow their marketing skills. My mission is to empower real estate agents and grow their business through effective real estate social media strategies and different techniques that are also ever evolving and changing, right? There's always something new with social media. So it's my passion to uncover what's new and teach you guys about it, and make sure that you are growing. So that's a little bit about me. So I put in a quote in here. It really stood out to me. I heard it on a radio station one day, and I like got the notes app on my phone, and I wrote it down real quickly. If you want something different, do something different. And it just really resonated with me because a lot of the time we hear people say, like, oh, you're comparing yourself to others, right? Like, I wish I was like that, or I wanted to do that, or you see somebody that has a lot of success and you want to compare yourself to them. So, but if you want something different, you have to do something different. And whether that's surrounding yourself with people that have done it before, or educating yourself and digging down deeper into what you want to accomplish. That is a quote that's stuck with me for a little bit now. So I just wanted to put some statistics in here a little bit before I get into what I've done in the past year to grow my social media presence and the importance of social media in real estate. So statistics on social media usage and then the benefits of the usage for real estate agents. So going with the statistics is that the global reach is over 4.5 billion people use social media worldwide. That is like mind blowing to me. With a platform like Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, all of those leading the way, the daily activity is 2.5 hours per day people are spent on those social media platforms. So there's a lot of usage and a lot of opportunity. Demographics really range. Social media is popular across all age groups with significant engagement from adults ranging from 18 to 49, making it a valuable tool for reaching potential home buyers and sellers because that's really that's a big age gap, but that's the prime age where people are buying real estate. Video content is increasingly popular. Over 500 million people are watching Facebook videos daily and Instagram stories, seeing over 500 million daily active users. So that's going to kind of play a lot into what I'm going to be teaching today is video content. Local engagement, 70% of consumers who have had a good social media service experience with brand are likely to recommend it to others, showing the power of positive engagement. So going a little bit into why it's important and a benefit for real estate agents, it increases your visibility. It encourages relationship building. It's cost-effective marketing. I mean, most of the things that we do on social media are free unless you're doing ads, which, by the way, just put it out there, I have only ran 2 ads in my whole life, and one was on Instagram and one was on social, or one was on Facebook. So I'm not going to be teaching on ads because I want the most cost-effective marketing, and those strategies are just really organic for me. Showcasing expertise, so you're sharing your market insights, your real estate tips. Those are all benefits. Client testimonials, you could be sharing all of that on social media. Real-time updates. Social media allows agents to provide real-time updates on listings, open houses, market trends. That's a huge benefit. And then networking opportunities, so connecting with other professionals. So it's not just you necessarily talking to clients that want to purchase or sell a home, but also networking with other individuals, with other business professionals, and with other real estate agents in different industries or in different areas. So you could be networking with somebody that's from, Massachusetts or Florida. Another agent is seeing your content and they're going to refer agents that are going to move over to Houston, Texas, or in the Texas area. They're going to refer them to you because they're seeing your content. That's huge. So those are just some statistics. So the first thing I'm going to be talking about today is understanding your audience. I feel like that's super important when you're trying to post your content, when you're trying to figure out what you're going to be talking about. Understanding your audience is the key, the number one thing. So if you're talking to everyone, you're actually talking to no one. So you need to get really specific and clear on who your audience is. Who am I trying to convert and who is my content for? It's not for every single person on your social media platform. Be an expert in one field. So that's kind of niching down on whether you are expert in first-time home buyers, investment properties, rentals. Kind of figure out what you are known for and ask your peers. There's somebody, friends and family, there's some people that have a persona and have a thought about you as an agent, and ask their opinions on what you think that they're most, what you're good at, what your niche is, what you're known for, and kind of go with it. Because if you have such a broad audience, you're not going to really be hitting home. And we're going to be talking about different content ideas and stuff like that, but you're not going to be really hitting home and resonating with the client if you're talking about everyone. An investment, a person that's looking to purchase an investment property is not necessarily going to resonate with your first time home buyer content, right? And that's not to say that you can't post multiple different things. It's just saying that it's really, really good to have a specific field that you are going to be known for and have your niche. So who your content is for and who are you trying to convert? And what makes you different? How do you stand out? Excuse me. I put on here my book club. So if you don't see something in the industry, if you don't see something that you're looking, to, basically Facebook groups is where I kind of go into when I think about this is, there's tons of Facebook groups out there. And if you're wanting to get into some sort of, a pickleball group or tennis group or a book club, something like that, if you're something that you're passionate about, go with that because it starts with your passion of what you are interested in, and it's really going to show through in your content. If you're not passionate about it, people are going to pick up on those cues and pick up that you're not really into what you're talking about. So what makes you different? If you have a book club or if you have something that you're passionate about, and if you don't see it out there, make it, do it. I started a book club at the beginning of this year, and that's why kind of my example is because I wanted a book club where I can join a group where there's like-minded individuals wanting to learn and grow and not really, nonfiction books, but I wanted, or I'm sorry, fiction books. I wanted a more of a nonfiction, like growth mindset type books that I can talk to my peers about, not just real estate agents, but business professionals. And so I didn't see that. I looked and looked and looked. I wanted to get connected, and there you go. I made it myself because if you don't see it, just do it yourself, and that's also good. You're going to be known for that. Like, hey, that's the girl that started that book club. Okay, sorry about my cough. I'm just like really dry. I'm gonna take some water. Also, guys, we're going to have a Q&A at the end. And so if you have any questions, write them down or put them in the chat box because I want to be able to get those questions answered. Again, this is going to be recorded because a lot of you don't have electricity that signed up. I had dozens of people sign up for this call, and it looks like a lot of people sent me messages or just wanted to make sure that they got the recording. So if you're not able to stay in the whole call, this will be recorded. Okay, so building a strong personal brand is the next topic that I wanted to go to. And I'm not going to spend too much time on this because I do have a brand strategy class that I'm going to be teaching in probably the around August timeframe, the end of August, building your brand with social media. But I wanted to just put this in there because whenever you're thinking about who your audience is, you also want to talk about, building your personal brand of who you are. And a little bit of things that I want to just touch on is if you want to develop a personal brand, you have to show your face because people want to know you. And I feel like it's really hit or miss in the industry. People are shy or they're feeling embarrassed or they just don't want to be on social media with their face too much, or they don't know what to say, or they just have stage fright. But you have to show your face because your face is your brand. You can have as many colors or as many slogans or as many different things, I would say, logos or whatever. But if you're not showing your face doing video content or having your profile picture as you, then you're really missing out because they're going to associate your face with your content, right? So first things first is profile picture. Make sure it's you, make sure it's a bright and clear photo, change it out regularly, make sure it's a recent photo. Even if it's not a professional headshot, that's okay. I change my photo out pretty regularly every couple of months. And right now it's not a professional headshot. I decided to put a picture of me and I'm in a blue blazer. I think it's a cute picture. It's of my face. It's nothing in the background. And I change it out to make sure it's the most relative recent photo of me. Also, how can people reach you? I see this more than anything is there is not contact information, there's not your phone number or email on your bio and your Facebook group or your Facebook page or your Instagram page. And I'm really going to be talking about Facebook mostly because that's where I've grown my audience. I kind of hit or miss with Instagram right now. The algorithm is always changing, but I am going to, hand in hand, Facebook and Instagram, your bio can be the same. There's only a certain amount of characters that you can put in your bio. So making sure that you're putting how they can reach you is super important. I know a lot of people have a business page and a personal page. And to be honest, I've grown my audience so much on my personal page rather than my business page because my personal page, I don't know what it is about personal pages, but they are more drawn to you and what you're doing than a business page. They don't want to just see posts about your real estate, open house, your real estate tips and tricks. Like they want to see more of you. So I've had a better outcome of my personal page, and then I just share a lot of my stuff to my business page, and that's okay. But making sure that you have it on both, not just your business page, but your personal page of how they can reach you. So your phone number in your bio and where you're located. I see this. I have friends all over the United States that are in real estate that add me every day on Facebook, and I don't know where they're from. I'm like digging and digging and digging, and I don't know where they're from. You can be specific and do League City, Texas, or you could be a little bit more broad and do Houston. It doesn't really matter as long as you're, somewhat specific with your location and what your area is that you service. If you service all of Houston, put Houston. If you service just League City area, put League City. But put where you're from, because there's going to be so many times that people are going to stumble on your page and they're like, I know that she's a realtor. I know that he's a realtor, but I don't know where they're from. So change that right now. If you could take anything away from the call, change that right now, that where you're located, put that on your bio. And how you can help them. What do you do and how you can help them? Budding a realtor, I help, you put your niche there. So how they can reach you, a phone number, where you're located, and how you can help them. You could also put some sort of slogan. I know that a lot of people are doing that on their like post, um, by their like logos and stuff like that. Have a slogan that's really catchy sometimes. So maybe think about a slogan. I have a slogan, helping buyers and sellers achieve their real estate goals. That's my slogan. So come up with something like that. Colors and fonts are really important to setting your brand, is making sure you're consistent with the same colors and the same fonts. Choose about 2 or 3 fonts, one that's really big and bold, one that's in your body, and then maybe a signature kind of font. Those 3 fonts are going to be something that's cohesive. You could put it in your Canva brand kit. If you don't know how to do a Canva brand kit, we can go and do a one-on-one, and I can teach you all about how to do that. But put your fonts in your Canva brand kit as well as your colors. I would suggest about 5 different colors, and stick with those colors and fonts. Everything that you post, be consistent. Have a call to action. You could also put a call to action on your, and we're going to talk more about call to action on the Reels section. And I'm sorry, I'm going pretty quickly because I have a lot of content, but I'm willing to stay a little after the call too. Oh, there's more people joining. Okay. And so have a call to action is really important to have on your videos. And we're going to talk more about that. But if you want to put a call to action on your bio, that's going to be super helpful. Like, contact me for any of your real estate needs. Here's my phone number. That kind of goes down hand in hand with having your phone number in your bio. A link tree, having a link tree or some sort of website that has multiple links to it. And I suggest a link tree that's the most easy, user friendly, and cost effective. There's no cost to have a link tree. And having all your and I could show you too if you're interested. I could show you my link tree and what that looks like, or you could just click in my bio, right, and see my link tree. I have different links for different specific things, like my coaching. I have links for if you're wanting to have a CMA done, or if you're wanting to have a buyer's meeting, things like that. All of your links all in one place, and having that very, very specific link where you're not putting a whole bunch of different links and people are like, oh, what do I choose? What do I do? I would just be simple with it. And also,
Hey, Becky,
yes.
I want to say, I did find all of your stuff in your link tree, and it's probably the most impressive one I've seen.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yes. I want to say
you.
it's probably one of the most impressive one that I've seen, with different realtors, with all the different things. Very easy to click on the different things and follow, with all the different links to like your Facebook, your Instagram, your Pinterest, all of those things. So it's very nicely done. So, and I do appreciate you taking the time. I know everybody's struggling with no electricity, including me, but so I wanted to hop on and take some of your classes. I love them. So I probably will be reaching out for more help, just because I'm not a techie person, and I love kind of your whole theme and everything that you do. So just wanted to say appreciate you so much.
Oh, thank you so much. That is like making my day right there, because like that's what I just love it so much. I love teaching others what I know. And like some people just like kind of bottle those things up to themselves. And I have to share. I have to share with you guys of what I know. I want you to be successful. I'm passionate about it. And if you need any help with anything, please reach out. I'm happy to share Linktree advice, Canva advice, anything like that. It's really a big piece of others. So thank you for those kind
Yes,
words.
absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah. And the last thing here is about the about me pinned on top of your page. So you can do this different ways. On Facebook, about me is basically a picture of yourself, the most recent picture. And you can go to my Facebook and see that my about me section is pinned to the top of my page. It's a little bit about me. And so if somebody stumbles upon my Facebook page, they're going to know exactly who I am and what I'm all about. And change it, every couple of months too, because there's always something new that you are doing. You're not going to be staying the same as 2 years ago. So make sure you're updating it. But about me section on your Facebook page, pinned to the top. And for and for Instagram, there are also pins that you can pin to the top, like your stories. All of your highlights from your stories can be pinned to the top. And I could teach you all about that as well. But I would really recommend having at least 5 highlights on your Instagram. And like I said, those are all stories, so that you can only pin to your highlights in your Instagram bio your stories. But the stories keep. So even if they've went away after 24 hours, you can go on your highlights right now and share your stories from 2 weeks ago. It's still going to be on there once you're starting doing your highlights. So once you're doing your highlight section, you can put in different stories from past. So that's a really good tool to utilize if you have sections about me, real estate, book club, whatever that you're interested in. Make sure that you have those highlights on your Instagram, and you can pin also different reels and posts that you've had really good success with too. So make sure that you are utilizing those pins at the top of your page. Okay, next section is time management tips. So I'm going to go over this really, really quickly because I have a lot of good stuff ahead. But if you haven't read the book, The One Thing by Gary Keller, I really encourage you to do so. And you might have read it before in the past, but really, really analyze it and read it and take it everything really intentional when you're reading it. If you have read it before, read it again, because it's really going to get you and honed in on what your one goal is. And that's going to help you if your goal is social media presence, and if your goal is to have more clients with social media, then there is like time management tips and goal setting tricks in that book to help you really make sure that you are going after your goals in a effective way. He said, it is not that we have too little time to do all the things we need to do. It is that we feel that we need to do too many things at one time at the time we have. So I really, I have so many things on my plate sometimes, and I really, really need to narrow it down. And this book really helped me do so. So planning, have a set time. And again, really take this seriously. Planning, have a set time for your social media content each week and stick to it. If you're going to put it on your Google Calendar, or if you have a written down calendar or whatever it may be, stick to it. If it's every Friday afternoon at 2:00, put it on your calendar. Have an hour or so to really put everything aside and plan your social media content. With your business profiles on Facebook, you can batch content. You can post content to your business pages and do it all at once and kind of schedule it out. So if you want to have everything done at once, you can do it. That's for your business profile. Now, if you're utilizing your personal page like I am, it's a little bit more tricky, but you have tons of different tools. And I'm going to teach you a couple of tools that I use for my organization and planning. There's 2 different apps that I use that I'll go into. But I also have a content calendar that is, it's basically a calendar. It has like an inch of room each day of the week. It's a basic calendar. And I write down what I'm going to be doing each day, and I stick to it. I batch plan all the time, where I'm making video after video after video. Do I use all those videos at one time, or do I use all those videos at all? No, not all the time. I might do 10 videos and use 2 out of it. I was feeling really good that day and I only used 2 because the other videos were not that great. Or it's just really good to have that content available in a batch setting, and you have a planning time each week to do so, because otherwise you're going to forget about it. Have a journal or a document open on your laptop for notes. This is something I always have available. If I have an idea, I screenshot it on my phone. If I see something else from somebody else, or if I saw something on Pinterest or whatever it may be, I have a journal that I put all my ideas in, because one day you're going to be sitting down doing your planning and you're like, I don't know what to post. I have no idea. And then you can go to that content journal. And then save content, like I said, from others. So if you see something, screenshot it. Be consistent with all of your posts. Have a plan in place is the most important thing. Not alone what I mentioned about having be specific for who you're posting to in your audience, but be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, if you're not posting every day, and I'll go into a consistent calendar in a second, but if you're not being consistent with your content, you're not going to reach people. And I sometimes feel, and this is a personal problem, but I sometimes feel like I'm maybe annoying or I post too much. And I'm like, man, I just keep posting. People are probably like, oh my gosh, like I get it. But one person's going to see your content and the other person's not. And the more you post, that one person that didn't see it that first time, they might see your 7th post, your 10th post. And then once they see your content, they're going to keep seeing your content. So although that one person sees your content every single time, another person's not going to see it every single time. So be consistent with it, even if you think that you are doing it too much. Engage with your audience. So this is super important. We're going to talk about the 5-5-5 rule daily. Okay, daily. 5 new connections, 5 engagements, and 5 follow-ups. So 5 new connections is meaning that you're talking to 5 new people, whether you're adding them or they added you, just 5 new people that you're talking to, okay? 5 engagements is liking, commenting on 5 different people's posts. And I would suggest more, to be honest. I do up to close to 10 engagements a day. And that's something that I do first thing in the morning, usually is I'm commenting on people's posts, I'm liking people's posts, and I'm just being engaging because other people are going to see that you wrote on those people's walls or that you wrote on people's content or their picture or their post or their video. They're going to see you show up on their content, and then they might start following you and seeing your content. So it's really beneficial for you to be engaging with others. And then 5 follow-ups in your DMs. So if you're not talking to people in your DMs, you need to be. That kind of goes with the 5 new connections. Making sure that you are following up on your DMs, you're chatting with people in your DMs, you're sending people DMs, seeing how they're doing. Oh, I love that post that you did. Or, oh, how's your family? Or, oh, the hurricane hit, do you have electricity? Are you good? There's so many different things that you can talk to people in their DMs, but you need to make sure that you are talking to at least 5 people in your DMs daily. Make sure you're responding to all comments. That's kind of common sense, but just to throw that out there. Always reply to comments on your post to encourage more interaction. So not just a reply, thank you, but also saying, oh, that's great. What do you think about it? Or that's amazing. How are you doing? Responding to comments, but also encouraging that more interaction with them so you can go back and forth. I said DMs already. Like and comment, engage with posts from your followers and the industry peers, build relationships and visibility. It's all about visibility when you are doing these engagements. Also do question and answer things, polls, this or that. I would challenge you guys all to do a live video or reels for 30 days in a row. I know that's a huge challenge. So if you can't do a live, then do a reel and have it pre-recorded. But 30 days in a row is going to increase your engagement significantly, without a doubt. And if you can't do 30 days, do half that, do 15 days, do 7 days. Try to do it, and you're going to see a huge, huge increase in your following and in your engagement. When they're seeing those live videos and those reels coming from you daily, you don't have to do it, 365 days of the year. But if you just start doing your social media content and do those live videos and do that 30-day challenge, you're going to get a lot of engagement. Here's some little pictures, and I threw a couple of them in here for you guys to just see. And I'm not going to go over everything, but this is kind of how, a 1 hour on Instagram, if you're planning, this is kind of what it looks like. 15 minutes here, 15 minutes there. And this is for you guys to take a screenshot of, and I can also send it to you in email. And then how often to post. So Instagram stories 2 to 4 times a day. We're going to talk about carousels in a second, reels in a second, single pictures. That's what I see from most real estate agents and most people on social media is just a single post, but they're posting it daily. And, you kind of want to do more stuff with your posts than just a single post. So I would encourage you just to do one single post a week, but do more reels, carousels, stories, and things like that. So just screenshot that and then we'll talk about more. Okay. Post valuable content daily. So think like the consumer. So these are some ideas that you can post daily, like a behind the scenes. We all are doing, showings. We're all doing really great activities, writing contracts, client meetings, all of this and that. Just remember to pull out your phone. It's going to take a lot at first to remember, and it's going to look a little, funny sometimes when you're like taking so many pictures of different things and so many videos, and you're going to fill up your camera roll like super easily. You're just going to have to go in and delete things, but just remember to film anything, and people want to see what you're doing. So film anything that you're doing, even if you don't think it's really fun, or you just don't think that it's bringing value to anybody else. They just want to see what you're doing, so you can post that on your stories. Quick tip is that you post quick tips, interacting facts about real estate. Those are just, really fun, interactive posts that you could do. Share insights, showcase listings, client testimonials, client stories, personal touches, show your personal touch of what you made unique as a realtor. People want to work with you, with someone that they can trust and connect with. So what do you do that the other real estate agent doesn't do? What do you do that's different? I posted a couple of weeks back about how I do my Google Calendar with my clients. I post in my Google Calendar. I add them to my Google Calendar, showing 1, showing 2, showing 3. I put the address. I put the MLS sheets in my Google Calendar so that it's easy access for everyone. And then I screenshotted it on my social media and I said, hey, does your real estate agent do this? And I had so much engagement with that post of like, oh my gosh, real estate agents wanted to learn how to do that. And clients wanted to see like, oh, that's great. That would really benefit me. So personal touches, think about what you do that somebody else doesn't. And so those are just some kind of quick daily things that you can do. So this is kind of breaking it down to in different things that you can post about: educate, entertain, inspire, sell. So you could screenshot this too. Educating, create a free resource, creating a little listing presentation that they can, a pocket listing presentation that they can just, you can do one sheet of paper and cut it up into 4s and staple it. And here's your pocket listing presentation of how you can help them. I don't know, be creative, do things different. Ask me anything kind of post. Entertain. Don't forget to entertain people. People want to see somebody that's entertaining too. And I'm not talking about dancing or singing, because you will not see any of that on any of my posts. You will never see me dancing or singing, because that's not me. That's not something that I do. But if you are passionate and if that's you and your personality, go for it. People want to be entertained by you. That's like can be going behind the scenes and things like that, and jumping on different trends that they have out there. Inspire clients. Sell to your clients special offers, sneak peeks, and things like that if you have a listing coming up. Reels are for entertaining and to attract new followers, and reels are only 90 seconds. Stories are for building your community and making sales. Now, I post in my stories 10 times a day, roughly. I just keep posting and posting and posting. I share things on my stories. I post my family on my stories. I post what I'm doing on my stories, when I'm eating on my stories. I post constantly on my stories. And that's really, I would say, the number one thing that I've been consistent with since day one of my social media adventure. I guess a year ago, last June, I decided I was going to be on social media every day. And that was one thing that I stuck to, is stories. And now it's second nature. It is second nature for me to post something on my stories and be like, oh, this is what I'm doing, post real quick. Carousels. This is something that's really been bigger lately, and I haven't hopped on board of carousels too much, but on Instagram, the carousels are really big, where you post, the first picture is something educating, like top 3 things to do in Houston, Texas. And then you do you slide to the next slide and you do number 1 thing. Slide to the next slide, number 2 thing. So it's like a storyline with multiple pages is a carousel. So that's something that's really been popular lately. So check that out. And then lives. Guys, lives are something that I do all the time. And I know that it's nerve-wracking to do lives, but do lives at your open house, do lives in your car, do lives outside. Lives inside hasn't gained me too much, but if I'm out somewhere, I feel like people are just hopping on those lives and want to see what I'm doing. So outside, in your car, at an open house, make sure that you go live for that 5 minutes. I would not go live more than 10 minutes unless you have like an agenda. I did a 30-day live challenge on Instagram not too long ago, and I only got up to day 7 because I was giving so much information to my viewers. And I was going up to about maybe an hour long, and it was just like a lot. It was a lot. So I would really make sure that you're doing, like, if you're going to share tips and tricks and things like that, then maybe make it 10 minutes or shorter. A lot of the times people aren't going to tune into the whole live if you're going to, be so long. And then also, just a little hint for doing lives is you want to tell people you are going live before you go live. So if you're planning on going live at 5 o'clock, maybe at 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock, say, hey, I'm going to go live at 5 o'clock. Make sure you tune in and tag some people. So make sure you give that awareness of when you are going live. If you can, if you're going to be talking about something like specific, if it's like an open house and stuff like that, I mean, I totally get that you're not going to tell people ahead of time, but just keep that in the back of your mind to stay consistent and tell people you're going live so that way they can join in. And then post are for more quotes, shareable content, and things like that. So leveraging your stories and reels. So like I kind of going back to what I was saying is that your stories show what you're doing. And I would at least share 3 to 5 times a day to kind of get going with it. If you're not, I always have something going in my stories, whether it's from yesterday, they say for 24 hours. So I always make sure that there's like roughly like 10 stories in my Facebook and Instagram. I have them linked together, my business page and my Instagram. So I'm always having some sort of stories going. Facts tell and stories sell. So you're sharing facts with your reels and your posts, but your stories are really selling it because people are learning more about you, and they're going to want to follow you, and they're going to want to buy from you. Share real estate, share real life and let people get to know you. Add as much value to your client as you can on reels, and then sell them stories, like I said. So reels and videos, what do you want your viewer to do after watching your video when you're doing reels is super important. I think a lot of people miss that call to action. So whenever you're planning your content with reels and videos, make sure you are putting a call to action afterwards, because what do you want people to do after they watch your video? What is the whole reason for your video, and who is your consumer, and what do you want them to do? Do you want them to follow you? Do you want them to like your page? Do you want them to send you a DM? You have to have a call to action for them to do, because they're just going to watch your video and they're going to move on to the next video. Be intentional. What would you stop and watch what you're doing? Would you follow you? The first 7 seconds are super important. So making sure your 7 seconds at the very beginning is super valuable, and that you're not like, you could say, hey guys, but you could also say, hey, do you want to know the top 3 things to do in Houston, Texas? And just jump into it. Be really intentional. Would you stop and watch it? Just kind of think about that as you're posting and making videos. Would you watch this? Also a pain point and a solution, an outcome. Making sure that these are really big lately and getting a lot of engagement is post with a pain point. Like, do you struggle with social media? Do you need help with posts? Then take my hour class and learn more about da. And so having a pain point and a solution, that's going to really make somebody stop and want to engage with you. Hey, are you struggling to buy a home? Have you been trying to buy a home for the last 2 years or more? Then you need to take my first time home buyers class, or you need to take my first time home buyers guide and sign up for it. And let's have a talk and let's have some coffee today. Blah, blah, blah. I know I'm just throwing it out there, but have a pain point and have a solution to their problem. You can never give too much value. I know that a lot of people sometimes are like, I'm talking too much, or I'm giving too much away. You're never giving too much away. And also hooks are going to get people to stop and listen too. And we're going to talk about hooks in a second. But here's like the top 3 must-haves when it comes to blank. What if you could desire without having this pain? So like hooks, like I said at the very beginning, is really going to draw people into your content. So you could screenshot this, guys. Here's 2 different hooks that you can kind of go with. I found these on Pinterest. I thought these were really good to kind of help you keep going. Like sometimes you're just passionate, or you just unmotivated. You don't know what to post. You want something quick. Here are some hooks that you guys can start going with your posts and kind of go from there. The more you do it, the easier it's going to get. But 4 ways real estate has changed my life. Biggest mistakes you're making with real estate. Most common misconception for real estate, just fill in the blanks. Utilizing hashtags effectively. So using keywords for your industry and location and having your geotags like where you're at. So whenever you're posting something, you could always do a geotag of you're in Houston, you're in League City. Really encourage you guys to make sure you're doing that at the location. You don't have to put your house. I had somebody ask me a question of like, well, does it have to be this location that I'm at right now? Well, it could be. If you're at a coffee house, if you're at Starbucks, you could put you're at Starbucks right now, sure. But you could also put League City. You could also put Houston. So making sure you're posting and you're putting those geotags, so that way when people are in the Houston area or in looking in the Houston area, your content's going to pop up. They're going to see those geotags and what you're posting is relevant to them. Making sure that you're doing about 8 to 10 hashtags, and you can save these hashtags in your boards app, which we'll talk about in a second. Some apps that I have for you guys to download. If you haven't downloaded the boards app, it's a black app, and I'm going to look on my phone so I can tell you. I think it's with a white B, or no, it says boards. So it's a white background with black words. It says boards, and that app is like a second keyboard. It's a second keyboard for your texting. It's a second keyboard for Facebook, whatever. What the keyboard that you currently have, it is an extension of that, and it has saved, just like kind of when you go to your notes, guys, you have saved things on your notes that you kind of always say. Like I always say, call me at my phone number and here's my email. Like I always say that. So I have it in my notes, copy and paste it. Well, instead of copying and pasting it, you have your boards app and you hit that extension. It's kind of like hitting an emoji, but it has the boards app, and you hit that, and then your content's all right there. All the things that you're going to say, all your hashtags can be right there. So you're not having to find those hashtags again. And I'm talking about local hashtags like Houston Realtor, League City Realtor, to your target audience, and then your industry hashtags. Those are the most important things. Real estate tips, home buying, realtor life. You don't want to have a hashtag that has millions and millions, to be honest, because if you're so like realtor life might have millions and millions, you want it to be a little bit niche down. So try to be specific with your industry hashtags. Reels. So this is going to help you make your reel stand out, and making sure that whenever you're planning, you're doing these 8 things. So if you want to screenshot this as well. Choose your audio is super important. You want to choose a trending audio if you're not going to be doing an original audio. And an original audio is your voice, obviously, but trending audio is music that, it has that up arrow that people are using frequently. And under 10,000 is going to be your best bet to making sure your content is still being seen. If it's over 10,000, you're going to get lost. So although it's trending and you have a million people using that audio, your content's probably not going to get seen, because people are going to look at that audio and look at the top things, the top posts, the top reels that have that audio. And if you're less than 10,000, you're more likely to be shown. So don't use the audios that are like super, super, big, but also, kind of in the middle. Identifying who you're serving. Who are you serving in this reel? So making sure that you have I'm serving first-time home buyers. This is going to be directly to first-time home buyers. So I'm going to be speaking to first-time home buyers. I'm not going to be speaking to everybody looking to buy or sell. And then show up in the video. Your audience, like I said before, we want to see your face. We don't have to see your face every single time, but make it a habit to show your face in most of your reels. And use keywords like we talked about with hashtags and things like that. The algorithm will push out your content to those people that are looking for those things. So if kind of putting it into the consumer point of view, if you're going to be looking on social media, or if you're going to be looking on Google, if you were looking for a home, what would you say? I'm looking for a home in Leak City, Texas with a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, whatever. Like, think about it in the consumer point of view and use those keywords that those people will use. And again, hooks, like we talked about, captions. If you want to do captions, like your captions on the screen that you're talking, or captions of if it's a video of you, but you're not talking, you have music in the background, making sure there's captions and things on the screen that people can relate to, and that you know, I've seen this a lot of the time too, is your captions like 3 things to do in Houston, Texas, and then you put number 1 on the video, and then the rest see in the comments or see in the captions. You can put the rest, so that way people are looking at the video, but then also visiting and looking at what you wrote on the post. And then text on video, so telling a story in your captions is very powerful, because facts tell and stories tell, like I said. Making sure there's text on your video. If you use, well, we'll talk about apps in a second, but CapCut is really good with that. Making sure that the text on the video is very, like it stands out, and you want something that stands out. And then the call to action, like we talked about. So making sure you're doing those 8 things on your reels. And this is kind of just so you to do a screenshot as well. It helps with single posts, carousels, stories, reels, like what those things look like. So your posts are going to be more memes and tweets and quotes. Your carousels are a deep dive into education stuff. Your stories are going to be connecting with you, questions and answers. Your reels are going to be entertaining and trends and personal introduction to yourself. Lives are going to be Q&A, conversations, tutorials, things like that. And then these are some things that you could do with those reels, carousels, single images, and stories. So that's just some tips in case you're stuck. Okay, one of my favorite parts, and we have about 15 minutes left, is apps and resources. So these are the most used apps that I use daily. And ManyChat is one of them. ManyChat is a automatic response system. So if you use something like Zapier, then ManyChat is very similar. It's not as big as Zapier. Zapier can really zap any of your content, but ManyChat is more social media. And I could show you, I probably could share my screen after I do the slides, but it's where you connect. And you might have seen my video recently, like, hey, comment the word training, and I'll send you more information. So it's kind of an automatic response. So it has a trigger word. So the trigger word is training. It's going to send my link to those people. So if the trigger word is, hey, Becky, I would like to talk to you about selling my house. So the trigger word there is sell. And so you're going to get you're going to set up an automatic response to that person. So that way you're not missing a beat. You're not missing a comment on social media that somebody said that they want to sell their house. So you're going to have an automatic response, say, hey, I got your message. I'm super happy to help you. Here is my link to fill out this questionnaire so I can get to know your house a little bit better. And once you're done, comment the word done, and we can pick a time to talk on the phone, or do a Zoom call, or meet for a coffee and talk about selling your house. Something that's like boom, boom, boom. You have your trigger words. You're busy showing houses. You can't talk to all the people in your comments. So this is something that's set up automatically for you. I'm more than happy to help you set up your ManyChat if you need help. Again, the Boards app, it's a second keyboard. Flowdesk is for your emails. It's flowdesk.com. It's to have really pretty emails, templates that you can make and send out to your sphere, to all your emails, or all the people that you have on your email campaigns. Flowdesk has just been something really handy for me to make it really pretty and have my more brand specific. So that's something I utilize. CapCut or Splice. CapCut, I know that Splice, a lot of people use that, but CapCut is what I use for my editing. I do use the pro version, so that way I can use the captions like I was telling you about. You can do more unique captions. So if you see my videos with captions, with emojis and things like that, I'm using CapCut. I use my CapCut for my podcast that I have. I use CapCut for the interviews that I've been doing for the SOAR conference. I use CapCut for any editing. You can do it in an app for your MacBook, an app for your phone, and there's also a website. Loom. or VMO. I don't know how to say that. VMO. Those are both recording systems that you can be associated with to like do, like, let's say if I was just doing this webinar right now without Zoom and I was just talking about something, or I was talking about a market update or something like that, you can download the Loom app and it's an extension to your toolbar and you can really just screen record on your laptop. Super easy. Say, hey guys, the market update for July 12th, da 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 da. And it's basically like, I think it's like a 5 to 10 minute on Loom that you can do a screen recording. So super easy to do that. Canva, tried and true, Canva for all my marketing. I'm teaching a Canva class on Monday. So if you want more information about that, let me know. But Canva is so cool with all the marketing things that you can do. You could build a website with Canva. And you can even do like a link tree with Canva as well. So I can share more about that. Notion and Trello. So when we were talking about the organizational section, I use Notion and Trello as my online tools for planning. And Notion and Trello are so easy to navigate with like an online calendar. It's so much that I could talk about Notion and Trello. So dig into it, like go write it down, go look at the websites. I'm happy to do a tutorial on that as well. But they're very good planning systems with social media. Notion already has like a calendar that you can basically plug in everything for each day. And you can basically on Notion, you could do the calendar, you could plug in like, hey, I'm gonna post about tips on the home buying process. And then you can also, so that's your outline. You could put your description of what's going to be in the post. You can put a picture all in the Notion calendar. And so that way, when you are posting it, it's all there and it's all in one place. It's really cool. And then Metricool, it's kind of like mini chat a little bit with as far as your social media platforms. You can connect your Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, LinkedIn, Pinterest, all of that you can connect to Metricool, and it shows your analytics all in one place. It's free. So you don't have to go to Facebook, you don't have to go to Instagram to see your analytics. You can just go to one tool and see everything that's performing well and what you need help with. And if you're not looking at your analytics regularly on your social media posts, then you need to start. That was a big goal of mine this year, is to look at my analytics, and I do it monthly. I snapshot all of my analytics from each month and I compare apples to apples. I have it all in a folder on my math book, all of my analytics. So that way I'm like, okay, my follower count, my engagement count, I want to make sure that I am on the right path. And so I take it as one of my, I guess, like probably like the 28th or the 29th of every month. I screenshot all of that and make sure that I'm viewing all of my analytics, so I'm on the right track. Speaking of analytics, analyzing and refining your strategy. The more you do it, the better you'll get. So analyze and adjust. So review your analytics regularly, check your social media analytics. And if you need help with that, like if you're not going to do Metricool, if you're going to do just basically off of Facebook or Instagram, let me know. It can help you analyze your analytics for you, because there's a lot of different things that you can do. And you could do analytics on your business pages, but if you set up your personal page as like a business page too, it's kind of tricky. You can do that. You can set up your personal page as like a kind of a business page, and you can see analytics on your personal page too. So I don't know what it's called. I had it written down. Somebody was asking me the other day how to do it, and so I have it all written down. But you can do your personal page where you can kind of be more business with all of the tools and stuff. You can change the settings. Adjust strategy. So with these insights that you get from your content, you can start adjusting. You can start saying, hey, that post didn't perform well. That video performed really well, and that post did not. Like, maybe I should be posting more videos. Maybe my audience is wanting more videos from me. So you can really refine your content and your strategy by looking at your analytics. Okay, guys. Questions and answers. This is, we have about 10 more minutes. I'm happy to stay a little longer, but if you have any questions, I'm happy to dive deeper into what I talked about.
I have a question.
Sure.
What is carousel?
So carousel is when it's mostly on Instagram, and it's when you post like basically like a book. So if you've ever seen somebody post like 5 pictures, and you see that it's like 1 through 5, and the top picture says, hey, 3 things to do in Houston, Texas. That's the top picture. And then you go to the next picture and it says, number 1, this is what you could do in Houston, Texas. And then you go to the next picture and then there's another thing. So it's like a slide, basically. It's like a little slideshow. It's called a carousel. And so that's really good for like tips and tricks and training and sharing ideas and education with people, but you can only do it on Instagram. Does that help?
Yeah, thanks.
Uh-huh. And then also, y'all can keep asking questions, but here's my website, my email, my phone number. If you need anything from me, you could screenshot this and you can go to my link tree. You can go to my email, which I emailed all y'all the Zoom link, so you should have it. But here is my phone number too. This is my business line. So feel free to text or call. Man, 4 minutes to spare, guys. That's awesome. I'm like always like paranoid, like if I can get through everything or if I'm too fast. So I'm glad I have time to spare. But thank you guys like for joining. I am so excited. This is a huge passion of mine, to sharing like all my social media strategies. And the biggest takeaway is to be consistent, to keep posting. Keep posting if you think that nobody's listening or nobody's watching. Trust me, they are. Keep it up. And then the video content is going to be your most beneficial form of post, is reels and video and your stories, seeing you. So if you'd like to leave a review, just scan the QR code. I would love to hear your feedback on my classes. Like I said, there is one I'm doing on Monday for Canva, and I can send that to you guys to sign up.
Yeah, that was the one. Is that the one, how to use Canva for real estate agents? Is that what you're?
Yes.
Okay.
So I'm going to do that on Monday from the same time, 11:30 to 12:30 Central Standard Time. And there's a lot of new things that came out in Canva. So I have a lot of pre-recorded classes that I've done in the last couple of months, but the new stuff for Canva is really cool. And if you didn't watch a lot of the tutorials that Canva, they're hours long sometimes.
Right.
So I kind of pick and choose of what's the most important thing that you need to know for your content. And I teach you how to do it. And there's a lot of apps within Canva that I teach on too.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yeah. All right. Well, if there's no more questions, guys, I'm so thankful for your participation. And like I said, I am going to be sending this out to you guys so that way you can refer back to it. I know that's a lot of information sometimes at once. So you can see the slides and you can refer back to anything that I talked about. And if you have questions on anything, please reach out. I'm happy to help. And I will see you all next time.
All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.